Do you know that feeling when everything is led up to a particular point on a project? A milestone when you find out your fate for the remaining time on the project. Now this is the point where this absolutely crazy idea actually comes to life. Because if this lines up, then it's an absolute game changer. If it doesn't line up, well, we've just cut up a perfectly good Subaru and a perfectly good Rancho. So I guess there's only one thing for it, to test fit the Rancho body onto the Subaru floor pan. Also, we need to tackle some hidden rust which we found on the Subaru in the previous episode. And then later in the episode, we're going to test fit the Rancho shell onto the Subaru to see if this project's going to go down in flames. There's only one way to find out. Let's go. Right, to access this rust, we actually need to take this off here because you can see rust here, but also it's rusty back here as well. So to repair it properly, we need to take this off. Now, my Uncle Richard is going to chop this off here, but I'm going to take these spot welds off and unpick this section as well. Now, we do have the brace on the inside, so nothing's going to move, but this does need to come off to be able to repair this properly. Right, my dad's done a couple of measurements just to see where the Rancho body is going to fit. Now, it is looking like the main legs on the back are going to be nicely inside here. We might have to do some cutting action back here, but that's for a future episode. But we're going to leave these on for now because these form part of the structure, and we're not sure if we're going to be using a portion of these. I mean, these are too wide for the Rancho as it is, but we might just slice these down and put a little lip on and, you know, retain that. So for now, we're going to leave this. We're going to repair this section here and box all of this out so that all looks nice. We're going to take these little choddy bits off of this strut tower so that all looks nice, clean all this up so it's ready. And while my Uncle Richard's doing that, I'm going to be working on this sill, unstitching the rest of the bottom of this sill off, and then we can move on to the other side. Right, this side seems to be a similar situation to the other side. Now, Michael Richards welded that plate in and done a little bit of welding on the lower sill, so that's all sorted now. And that side is just about ready to accept the Rancho shell. This side, we've got these noggins to take off on the inside and these little fins here of the old panels that used to come up. And we've also got this rust. Now, this on the outside, we're probably going to cut this off, depending on how wide the Rancho is. But this, we need to cut this out and then blank this section off here. Yeah, it's not in the best condition, but it's slightly better than the other side. Okay, so that's them two pieces done. Michael Richard off camera has done a bit of welding in here where I got a little bit too happy with the gun, but that's all that sorted. So this is just about rust free now. We do need to prime all this and make it all nice and majestic, but we are going to be testing the Rancho shell on here now. This may need trimming down on the front here, may need trimming down here as well, but we're going to test it on and see exactly how it fits. Now, I think the rear arms actually go through the strut towers. I think it sort of comes to this height here, measuring from the sill up, so it comes to this height. So we may have to cut the arms off and then continue extending them out here, which means doing something with this as well. But we're just gonna wing it out. We're just gonna throw it on and see what the crack is. Oh, the creative juices are flowing now. So we didn't know exactly how this would fit until we fit it on. And as you can see, this is about maybe 50, 60 mil out, but we can kind of fabricate this to make it fit. Now, obviously we need to use the original windscreen because it's original, and getting an aftermarket one will be a pain in the ass. So we need to keep this sort of aperture here, but we can fabricate this into this and make it look something like. Now, we've left a lot of this Subaru section on here just in case, but I think we can whip that off and just weld this to this and make sure it's structurally sound. All this does need repair as well. As you can see, it's pretty bad. But if you come this way, you'll be able to see that the Rancho doesn't actually fit too bad. Now, this is the original wheel well here. And if this sits down, it's going to sit quite nicely into that corner there, which is nice. And this here, this is what supports this inner frame. And this looks like it should be able to butt up on the outside of this. Or we might just have to cut a bit of a letterbox here on the inside just to let it sit down and then build over this strut tower. So we'll see about that. Also, on the back, you can see that it actually lines up really nicely. So it lines up with the end of this chassis rail, which is nice. So we'll have to rebuild all of this here and get a back brace for it, but we're on the right track. So now, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this inner wheel well out here so this can sit down a little bit better so it's not sat on here. And then we can try and figure out exactly what we need to cut, fabricate, and yeah. But the good thing is, it doesn't fit too bad. Right, the plan is, I'm going to take this off because this is actually for the rear seat bench. So I'm going to take that off because we're going to retain that. And then we're going to cut this wheel well off and all the way down there so the Rancho shell actually sits down better and we can see exactly where things tie in, like this corner tying in down there, and where the B-pillar ties in as well. So I'm just going to take this off, retain this, and cut all this out. Right, so we've cut those inner sections off and we've landed it down and it actually looks really good and it fits really nice. Now, the vision is to have this box section on the outer section of this here, which is what you can see down there, and to have that on both sides. And then we're going to cut the inside rail here and unstitch it from this outer section because this is actually like two half box sections welded together. So we'll cut the inner section out and then that'll allow it to sit further down, and then we can reconstruct that inner section and hopefully build it around that strut tower. That's the plan anyway.
Come
Right, so if you squint and do this, then this almost looks like a Talbot Matra Rancho, right? I mean, don't you agree? So we need to make sure that this Rancho shell is actually sat on the Subaru nice and square as it should be, because obviously if it's stretched out, then the doors aren't going to fit. Now I can get the dimensions what it should be from the actual Rancho itself. So if I go from one side to the other, this is 1 meter 100 mil, so 1.1 meters. If I come to this side and I do the same on this frame that we just popped on here, this is actually 1/260, so it's 160 mil too wide. Now as you can see on this side, we've put the inner shell butt up against the strut tower. But on this side, we've actually got 50 mil difference here. So that can come in 50 mil. So that means we've only got 100 mil that we need to find. Now, if I measure from the outside section to that strengthener to the inside, that's actually 54 mil. Now, if I take the 54 mil from there and 54 mil from there, and I cut this section out here and this section out here, that should bring it in by another 2 times 54 mil, which should give us 160 mil in total. So you've got 50 on this side, and then you've got the 254 mils. So that should be 158, quick maths. So we need to cut that out and yeah, see if we can get it back to where it should be. We can test the door, we can test the rear hatch, and yeah, let's get it cutting. Right, we've put the door on and it's actually starting to look more like a Rancho. Now you don't have to like cover your eyes, you can just squint and yeah, it looks like a Rancho. But it's looking good. But we do have a major issue with this here. A major issue. And this could be a showstopper. But you're gonna have to wait to the next episode to see that. So make sure you do get us on social media, Instagram and Facebook. Make sure you do like and subscribe, share with all your friends. It does really help us out. It really does. Make sure you hype the video as well. If you've got the option to hype the video, it does really help us out. We'll catch you in the next episode of the SubaRancho.